So I want to talk about the dreams that I had last night or this morning, and I'm going to do my best to just be with them and to see what they want to say to me. So the first dream that I do remember is that I'm in a classroom with a bunch of friends that I love and I feel very, very comfortable with, and I can't remember what we're studying, but we're all seated on the floor, and it makes me feel like it's maybe a somatic training or just something more body based, because like the environment was like a gymnasium, whereby the floors were smooth, and I just remember feeling at ease and comfortable with the friends that I'm with. The essence of them feels like they are my uni friends, and if I were to think back about what my uni friends mean to me, it's a very, very safe bubble in an unknown foreign place, because I studied in London, and my closest group of friends, there were 5 of us, and I often tell them that it feels like we are in a snow globe together, whereby the 5 of us is like we are in our own world, and it's so beautiful because we it's just us, right? It's not like when I'm in Singapore or we are in Singapore and then we have like many different groups of friends to spend time with and to connect with. But when we are in London, it's just us, so it's very, very concentrated quality time, and I love it so much, the depth of friendship and relationship amongst us. So if I were to think about that, it's like, I think it's just how safe and secure I feel in this dynamic. And even though I'm learning something new, I'm in this place that it feels like my first time there, I'm comfortable because my people are with me. And then in the dream, Cara, my partner, walks in, and when she walks in, the feeling is that we are already together, and at the same time, it's not at all how we behaved in the dream. It was like we were just acquaintances or classmates, and it's not even like close friends at all. And it's just such a stark contrast between how I feel about this group of friends that I'm with, and then how I feel about Cara, who is my significant other, and I'm meant to be like closest of all. I remember in the dream, me and Cara were like side-eyeing each other, and also, I guess, from my perspective, I wanted to be closer to her, and I also wanted to make contact, but I just felt reserved and I felt shy too. I felt very hesitant about it. So there's just this feeling dissatisfied, like really unsatisfactory urge, because the desire doesn't follow through to the action. Like, I desire to do something, but I'm stopping myself, I'm curbing myself, I'm calculating, I'm just not letting myself do what I naturally want to do, which I would with my friends. And if I were to think about it in my waking life context of what's going on between Cara and me, and also what does Cara symbolize for me, and like the romantic partnership aspect would be like the deepest, most intimate parts, recesses of my psyche. And I also think of like, so what Cara symbolizes for me in the dream is our history. There's this feeling of distance. We did start off with distance, even though we were so close, but there was like physical distance between us when we were getting to know each other. And so I think that's that. And at the same time, when I think of what's going on in waking life, we are approaching a year in our relationship, and it feels like this is actually like the 11th month-ish, and it feels like we are continuing to get to know each other, not at a basic level, and at the same time at a basic level. Like, we know so much of each other because we've been super close friends for a year before we got together, and at the same time it feels like 11 months into a relationship, we are still really getting to know the ways and the quirks and what we are like really fundamental humanness of each of us within the relationship, and also how it might tend to push each other's buttons or gel together perfectly. There is also like that aspect of learning to meet ourselves through the mirror of another. Sometimes it just brings up so much. It brings up so much friction, and it also brings up so much challenge when we are really forced, confronted through the other, an aspect of ourselves that we didn't ever have to meet, or didn't have to meet for a long time until now. And it can be simple, yet it's not. It's like, okay, if I don't want to meet this aspect of myself, then I'm out of the relationship. I don't have to meet this aspect right now. And I don't believe in that, because my deepest core belief is that our soul, every soul wants evolution, and thus that's why we keep bringing to ourselves different people, different circumstances, different situations that all have the same karmic theme. It's simply this aspect of ourselves wanting healing and wanting attention and wanting completion. And that's why I don't believe in short-circuiting something, kind of like exiting the dynamic, because it's just going to come back and we can't really run away from it. It's very Saturnian, this theme. And then the other thing to do is to stay in the relationship and to grow together, to really be in the mess and the discomfort and the thickness and muddiness, murkiness of the situation of doing this inner work. That's not at all fun. Not at all fun, but at the same time, it's what's required in order to evolve and grow individually and as a couple. So if I were to piece all of this together in the dream and to ask the dream what actually it wants to tell me, what I can think of is this aspect of myself that I can feel myself being charged as I'm talking about it, just because it's so present in my inner world and also my outer dynamic with Cara, which is that the deepest aspect of me that I've never had to meet before. It feels like I'm wanting to get to know it, and yet I'm walking on eggshells, which is why I often say to Cara, like my whole life feels like I'm walking on eggshells. I'm apprehensive, I don't want to push anyone's buttons, and it's so crazy. I have no Libra in my chart because I act like the low road of a Libra. Like the lowest expression of a Libra, which is like whatever you want goes, never mind what I want. And of course, I'm like, since being on this path of knowing myself, remembering who I am, slowly taking steps to reclaim power that I have unconsciously given away, I'm learning. But that muscular pattern of honoring someone else's needs is so deeply ingrained that it's just a recurring lesson. But going back to the symbolism of Cara and that weird dynamic and interaction with her in the dream, it feels like I'm possibly walking on eggshells within myself, within that most intimate part of me that obviously wants to be seen. Otherwise, Cara wouldn't even be in the dream at all. But she entered the field, she entered the room, she got my attention. So obviously there's this very deep part that wants to be known, wants to be seen. Me, the ego consciousness, was wanting to reach out, yet not. And also wanting that person, wanting Cara to reach out to me so I don't have to do the work, right? Like, because she makes the first move. Which is not how it went at all in our relationship. But when I think about it, it is such a clear message that I need to be the one being proactive about it, and I need to take steps to get to know it, because if I don't, it's also not going to reach out to me. It's also not going to just make it easy for me to unfold itself for me or express itself to me. Like, I have to be the one to nurture this relationship, which is true. And I feel also like this aspect of myself, it comes out when I'm journaling, when I'm meditating, when I'm doing things that requires for me to swim in my unconscious. And whenever things in life seems harder, a protective way of coping is to just stay at a level that I can cope with and not any deeper, and it feels like doing this unconscious work is going deeper, and I've been avoiding it. So I've just started to get back into it. Like yesterday, after a whole week hiatus of journaling, of doing the magic practice, which I preach about constantly, I went back into it, and I feel like that's why it's come up. It's to kind of remind me the importance of really taking the initiative to get to know myself, and not just like being passive about it and waiting for that part to speak to me, because it's not going to. And I feel like the stark contrast between my friends and then Cara in the dream, the dynamic with Cara, I'm wanting to express, I want to be close, but I'm not, I'm hesitant. And with my friends, I'm just like anyhow, like really myself. And I feel like it just points to the fact of like how I show up in dynamic of friendship, and then also in the dynamic of the most intimate relationship I can have. And I also feel like just because of the trajectory of my life thus far, friends have always been kind of like my first family, whereby safe family, whereby I can really show myself and trust that no matter what side comes out, I'm going to be loved, accepted, celebrated, supported. And I think what the dream is also trying to share with me is that I'm learning how to be this expression of myself that I am with my friends, to my most intimate relationship, to Cara, and also to myself. I'm learning how to be as expressive, as carefree, as fun, as playful with these parts of myself. So that's all for now for this dream.